Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs.
Visit their new location, Highway 77, south of Tractor Supply.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see say for my students. We see say for each other.
I see safe because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Morning, GSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bet.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Tuesday morning here in the Florida Panhandle. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here with Jay Henley and DJ Davey Crockett behind the glass. We're excited to be talking to you again today. Appreciate you listening. As always, you can tune in on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the Forgotten Coast. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. Go to ESPNPC.com, click that Listen Live button, click the TV button, subscribe to FHS TV for $42 a month. If you have, I hope you're enjoying it. Jay, have you done that yet?
I have not.
It's okay. Once you do, you're going to have to let us know how it is. That's for sure. Don't forget, you can also download the free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. That one does have to be searched. Make sure you do have that app downloaded if you want to hear the Mosley Dolphins game being called by our very own DJ Davey Crockett and Kyle Wright on Thursday down there from Gainesville. Big matchup there for the Mosley Dolphins.
Hey, good old, what is it, Buchholz or
Buchholz?
How we would say it on
Schultz? I don't know. What is it actually?
I think it's Buchholz.
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 I'm gonna say like Bucky's, but Busey's.
There you go. Busey's. That's what Kyle calls it sometimes. He loves that place.
Gavin, when we went to the Pro in where I don't know where we went. It was a cool golf course over there on the on the coast.
Yeah.
Where did we go? Kiva Dunes. Was it Kiva Dunes?
Uh-huh.
Is that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the tough one.
Yes. And it was windy. But anyway, that was my first time ever stopping at a Buc-ee's.
It's an experience.
It is an experience. I feel like if you've never been, you have to go at least once.
I mean, I think I went in just last week at a Buc-ee's up in Georgia, and I needed my receipt, for tax purposes or whatever it may be. And I said, yeah, I'm on pump 214.
Sounds like you're talking about the gas price a few years ago.
Yeah, Whew, that would have been good. Yeah, there's quite a few. You don't want a Buc-ee's to catch on fire.
No, you
That
don't.
is for sure.
No.
That would be like it'd be like Armageddon or something like that.
Dominoes on fire.
Phew, man, that'd be wild. But yeah, we got a good show lined up again for you today. We got Doc A coming up at 11:20. He's an NBA expert. He's currently writing for RotoWire as well as ESPN. He's been writing for all sorts of major publications for over 20 years, and he knows his stuff when it comes to the NBA. I'm anxious to talk to him. I saw in a commercial yesterday, there's some kind of NBA in-season tournament.
Yeah, that was over the weekend, bro. And I think that it continues on, but it's called the NBA Cup. Did you see any of the floors and stuff?
No.
Oh, my gosh, bro, do yourself a favor right now and
search
you
it
can
up.
just type in NBA Cup floors or something like that. But they are wild, vibrant colors. I'm talking like all blue, red, you know what I mean? It is crazy, and I think it's good for the kids. It hurts my eyes kind of watching it a little bit. Like I said, it's been harder for me to watch basketball, but then Pacers did get a big win with 152 points against the Wembanyama Spurs. Wembanyama-led Spurs. Anyways.
Yeah, these are wild.
Yeah, dude.
If you have a colored court in that game, does that mean that's an in-season game tournament, or is that?
I think that they did the floors for the NBA Cup, yeah.
Oh,
but there's really so they count as regular season games, and I think it's really just another financial incentive because it doesn't have really any bearings. It's just something to kind of spruce it up to make something different during the season, and then also an incentive for these guys to make a little bit more money because that's exactly what they need.
Yeah. NBA players don't get paid enough.
No.
Now for the guys who are lower on the roster, lower on the salary chart, then that's
$900,000 a year. I don't know what I'd do with that, Jay Henley. That's not enough.
Gosh.
It's not enough to cover my gas.
No.
Driving these kids all around God's green earth.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll ask Doc A about that. And then you've got a special guest coming up at 11:40, Ivy Shepard. She's the assistant women's golf coach at James Madison University. We talk about James Madison quite a bit. And I know the Dukes are also petitioning the NCAA to let them play in a bowl, let them be bowl eligible, because I think this is year 3. Maybe? I forget what it is.
This is year 2 for James Madison.
Okay, and that's the last year. Yeah, so they're trying to be like, come on, guys, we're 9-0. Let us in. You let Michigan steal signs. Let us play in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they beat them in basketball last night.
Or Michigan State. Yeah, a couple big upsets in the NCAA, both on the men's and women's sides. The old Colorado Buffs coming in and taking down Angel and the LSU Tigers. Tigers. Yeah, I got it in there.
Tigers.
But that's basketball, though. Basketball, I feel like the upset chance is so much higher than football.
Yeah.
I agree.
Considerably.
Well, because you got the depth and everything, and with football, you're talking about 85. Really, you're talking about 130 guys, but 85 guys will say. And so when you have more 3, 4, and 5 stars, then you have as many 3, 4, and 5 stars as other teams have 1 and 2 stars essentially. That's really going to help you out. But in basketball, you're talking about 12 guys essentially. So, if you have a premier player, you can play through them, and it works that way in football, but not to a large degree.
Yeah, not to the same extent. One superstar in football can't carry you like they can in basketball.
Well, and you get a hot hand from a 3-point line, and he does it 3 or 4 times in a row. That's 9, 12 points.
Yep.
So I mean,
he's heating up. He's on fire. That's the best sound you could ever have in NBA Jam. Then you knew it was on, and you're gonna do the old chaka 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 windmill dump. I can remember that sound. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The first one that actually looked like a basketball game, like double dribble back in the day. That was such a slow paced game. Do you remember? I mean, you had to walk your
NBA
player.
Jam was my first.
double dribble, you had to walk your player all the way across the half court. I mean, he wouldn't run, and it took forever. But
Hey, they're trying to manage that clock.
Walk the ball.
Don't hate.
Yeah.
Don't hate. But yeah, basketball. Yeah, I mean, the controllers only had, 4 buttons in the directional pad? Maybe. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do.
A, B, A, B, A, B.
Now there's 37.
Right.
There's sprint. There's medium sprint. And if you press it really hard, he just runs like Flash Gordon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Flash Gordon.
Press it really hard. A little action going on there, but still
Just giving you a nice little echo.
Yeah, no, I like it. Keeps me in my game. I'm feeling a lot better today, Jay. Feeling much more.
Did you get some rest last night?
Got some rest last night.
Good.
We didn't move anything this morning. We're settling in. Had our coaches meeting for flag football. Nice to see some familiar faces and some new coaches out there. So
Good.
the league is massive again. I think there's 30 total flag football teams across all divisions. I want to say there's 9, 10, or 11 or 12 in ours, David Ford.
Golly.
So
we got 8 victims.
Yeah, well, hopefully. We're doing the Bartenders Classic this morning out there at Bay Point. So Chris Fall and Joey Cappo are both there, and Chris was trying to give us preseason odds to win the championship. I was like, none of that. We're not going to talk about any of that.
Ooh, capping it. I like it.
I don't know any of the other teams at the moment.
Yeah.
But I saw some familiar coaches, so I know there's going to be some really good competition out there. And there's some good rule changes that carried over from the summer into the winter that I'm pretty excited about.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's the best game.
That was good.
Damn. Now I'm just thinking of picking my teams prior to going into the game. Do you remember how slow it was for video games to get started?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's you turn it on and boom, it's right there.
Yeah, there's no load time or anything.
Except when you get a new game. Because then you have to do the update, and then,
Do you have your Xbox hardwired? Or
PlayStation 5.
Do you have it hardwired?
I do now because of the new house and Liam and his life that he lives. The modem is in his room, so it's right next to it, so just a wire.
Dude,
that's the first time it's ever been hardwired since I've had PlayStation 3 or beyond.
Online gaming goes to a totally different level as far as you not getting the lagging as much, and then when it comes to downloading games, you get, depending on the internet package that you have, you get, I know I was getting downloading at 600-700 megabytes per second, so it's taking me 20 minutes to download a game.
That's why internet's so important.
I mean, if you put a kid on house arrest these days, that's no penalty.
No.
Yeah, it was a penalty for us back in the day. Not that I've ever been on house arrest or anything, but
you could just have went with grounding or something, but you wouldn't.
Go to your room. No, don't go to your room.
What if a parent did that? It's I'm not grounding you. This is house arrest, son. Here's your ankle monitor. I'm going to put an air tag on you.
Yeah, follow you where you go.
Yeah.
Air tags. It's wild what we got nowadays, technology-wise. But yeah, big Bartenders Classic going on out there today. We've got the Kirch Gessner Foundation Scramble coming up on Friday. That's an 11 o'clock shotgun. 9:30 registration. All the funds from that go to benefit local Bay County kids and schools. So Matt and his family taking a tragedy and doing some amazing things here locally. They come back down this neck of the woods every time this year to do that tournament just to help raise money for kids. So support that, sponsor it. I know we got a lot of good stuff going on. They may have a couple team spots left. I'm not sure at the moment. We also got our big Veterans Day sale coming up. That's this weekend. Wild. The 11th through the 13th. We're going to do 20% off all golf shop merchandise. If you spend $200 in the golf shop, you'll get a free round of golf that you can use now, later, give it as a gift. We got so much cool stuff in the golf shop, too. We just got some really cool YRI wine totes, as well as a little duffel bag, and looking really good. A lot of different things for gifts other than just apparel. But we also have tons of cool weather apparel in there right now, too. So come check us out at the golf shop there at Bay Point, and, buy some new swag, buy a gift, because Christmas will be here literally right around the corner.
Gift giving time.
But don't forget about Thanksgiving.
No.
That's the reason why Thanksgiving is before Christmas, because you have to be thankful before you can be accepting, right?
But then on Friday, everybody goes out and Black Friday and runs people over for $50 TVs. America.
You ever go Black Friday shopping?
Never.
I went one time in the last 10 years, and I went to Sam's to get a specific TV.
Right.
But Sam's did it right. They opened it early, and they formed a line, and they let 5 or 6 people go in at a time.
Yeah.
And if you knew what you wanted already, you told them and you went directly to do it, you checked out and you left. And they had coffee and snacks for the line, too. Not that I'm trying to plug Sam's, but it was a nice experience.
Yeah, with a free year membership, Sam's.
That's right. It seems like that year keeps coming up so quick. You go in to go buy stuff. They're like, it's time to renew. I'm like, so I can't buy this unless I renew? They're like, yep. I'm like, oh, gosh.
The Sam's what, membership?
Yeah.
Now, what's some value-added things with that? I mean, is there
bulk
any
items?
Bulk items.
That's basically it.
Yeah, and they have some really good, like, electronic prices are good.
Clothes, too.
Clothes. They got some really good clothes for good prices. Again, not that we're trying to plug Sam's, but
Do they still have the person, because it's been years since I've been in the Sam's, they still have a person that like gives out little snack bites of pizza and stuff,
I haven't seen it recently, but Costco I know was notorious for that.
I think it's more like a weekend type deal, samples.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. That's the only thing I remember back in the day.
I'll try that.
Yeah, and I'll try it like 10 more times.
I'll try it. Then circle back, put on a hat, and come back.
Yeah.
We had Costco. We had BJ's growing up in the Northeast. That was like did you have those?
No.
Yeah, elevated Costco. It was fantastic.
Did y'all have a Dick's up there as well? Dick's Sporting Goods?
Modell's. You remember Modell's or Champ Sports?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now it's Academy and Dick's. And does Modell's still exist?
I don't know. I've never heard of Modell's.
We lost David. There he is.
Where's David?
There's something on the ground back here.
Oh, okay.
You're always cleaning. You're doing a good job.
Always cleaning.
Was there Modell's around here?
No.
Champ Sports?
Champs.
Okay.
Yes, Champs played again.
Played against Sports. That's where I got all my hockey equipment.
There's another store, man. We got a good local one.
Yeah.
We're here too off Airport Road, yeah.
We got to play it again?
Not to play it again, but sometimes they have some things that have been used.
Yeah. That's what was cool. I mean, do you know when you bought hockey skates, the first thing you did, you had to bake them in the oven.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that way you put your foot in there, and then you get all situated, and then it's ready, and you bake it.
Kind of like a mouth guard type deal?
Very similar. Very similar. Yep. You got a tournament coming up, right?
Yes, parent-child tournament coming up next Saturday.
Tell us about that.
All right, let's see here.
And we're ready. I told Liam about it yesterday.
Are you guys in?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so look, we're at 25 teams right now. This is insane.
Competition is big.
And it's 3 different age divisions, 7 and under, ages 8 to 10, and then ages 11 to 13. It's $100 per team, and tee times are going to start roughly around 1:30. I may try to do it a little bit sooner than that, maybe 1:15.
Yeah, we got the MGA tournament, but they'll be cleared back to the front by like 10. So we can look at that.
Yeah,
but
so it'll be
especially with how many kids you're getting to come out.
Oh yeah, it'll be tee time start. We're not going to do a shotgun. We'll just do tee time start. And if you want to sign up, just give me a call at 770-584-3506. And
I'm excited.
It's going to be
excited.
good.
We were doing Beach TV. We had to reproduce our commercial because it's been since before Hurricane Michael. So when I wrote the script for it, I said junior golfers, senior golfers. So when you say that in the script, you have to have that. So Liam got some action out there yesterday, hitting some shots out there on number 5. And I told him about the tournament. He's like, "Is it today?" I was like, "No, it's the 18th, but it's a week from Saturday."
Yeah, it'll be a scramble event.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
I actually have some moms that are participating this year with kids, and they're a bit nervous, but I told them, I said, with the tee boxes for the kids,
rely on the kids.
The kids are going to be amazing. I mean, your 8-year-old is going to be playing from like 150 yards, so I mean, on a par 4, so it'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be fun.
And that's what it's all about.
That's all it is.
But we want to win, too.
Yeah, I get it.
Because winning is fun.
I got to get a trophy. I've called 3 different trophy places. I haven't had anybody call me.
Somebody that has a trophy place, call Jay Henley back.
I need a trophy.
There's a place on 15th Street. I'll tell you after the show, because we've been giving out a few. We've been talking about some stuff, people that are sponsors. So if you'd like us to talk more about your business,
pay us some money. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be glad to talk at length about it.
For sure.
See, we're talking about corporate places. Sam's corporate. They're not going to sponsor the Inside Drive. Maybe they will.
You got to find the key. You got to find the gatekeeper. There's a gatekeeper.
I've reached out to DraftKings.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. Keith kind of showed me what to do. Still waiting to hear.
Huh.
I also reached out for my NFL credentials pass.
Nice.
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
It's coming up quick.
I keep feeding families up in Boston.
I don't know if you'd want to go to a game your team is playing in as press, man. It's depressing to some extent because you can't really cheer. You're not supposed to cheer and all that stuff. And if because you're there in a professional capacity. So, like, you can't wear your team gear and stuff like that. If you show up wearing team gear, they'll tell you to put a hoodie on or something.
Yeah, then no, we're not worried about it then.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's really cool, you know what I mean? But you're there in a professional.
Be cool to go up to like a Falcons game or something like that.
Yeah, a team you don't care about, and then there you go. Yeah,
team that no one cares about. Sorry, Keith. Keith's been bad-mouthing them left and right.
He has.
Falcons fans are really good about bad-mouthing their own team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess as a Titans fan, I can get in that same general direction sometimes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have enough time? Yeah, I guess we do. You want to hit the sounder? Pressure.
I haven't even come up with anything.
I feel like that's what you normally
It's Jay's golf tip of the week.
You're putting me on the spot, Ryan.
We do this every week, Jay.
I know. Have I done the hammer and nail drill in the last? I haven't done that one, have I?
I don't know.
If you think
I don't keep track of your tips of the week.
You need a tip journal.
I do.
Yeah.
All right. So what about a hammer and a nail? I don't know. Have you ever did
stacking them bales? I'm dog tired at the 5 o'clock hour, and I'm ready to raise some hell. Keep going.
Using a hammer and nail, which I don't typically use a hammer and nail very often, but if you basically have your club as a hammer and then your tee is a nail, what you want to do is take a tee and put it next to your ball and put it in at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Now, what you're going to do is visualize you using your club as a hammer and trying to nail that tee into the ground. So that's just, to me, I think your angle of attack is so important in the game of golf.
It's funny that you mentioned this as the tip of the week, because I was out there with Marvin yesterday doing the Beach TV shot, and Liam was hitting some shots, and we were talking about golf.
Yeah.
And I was like, one of the hardest things that, and I'm not going to tell them or work with them on how to do it, is like actually hitting down through the ball. For kids to understand that, it's a tough, for anybody to do, it's a tough concept, because it's counterintuitive. You've got to hit down for it to go up.
That's right.
And most people think in order for something to go up, you got to help make it go up. But the golf club is designed for it to go up in the air, and lots of other different things. So I like that.
Yeah.
Little hammer and nail action.
Get the club going up and down and rotate.
Yeah. Just don't throw it over the top and hack at it. Stay on your plane.
Absolutely.
And hey, how can people come see you and find out?
Golfwithjay.com. You can get signed up there for a golf lesson. And if you have any questions or need any further details, call me at 770-584-3506.
Also, if you have some trophies that you want to help out Jay in his parent-child championship, you can call that same number as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm still disappointed Paige took your podcast.
I know.
Well, what was it?
Just the tip. With Jay Henley.
Yeah, you got plenty of things you can come up. I mean, I already stole one from you too, so.
Yeah. And it's out there. It's on all the major podcast areas.
Sporanic? Is it Paige Sporanic?
Something like that.
Yeah,
that's who. Oh, I thought it was someone you actually knew.
No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
She's just
I know the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
He knows something.
She's got a great podcast.
She was a good golfer too. She is a good golfer. I think she played Arizona State or something like that.
Somewhere out west.
There you go. Pac-12. All right, when we get back, we'll be joined by Steve Alexander, known as Doc A, NBA expert, writer for Forever. Going to ask him a couple questions about the start of this season and who he thinks. I know there's some Steph Curry's out to a hot start. Even Wemby's leading the Suns on points per game. So, although I think Spurs. I think they're 4-5 now on the season. But when we get back, we'll be joined by Doc A. If you got any questions for him, feel free to text in 850-215-6290. You're listening to the Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
They got what they deserve. Hey, Bill, can you believe it? Another high school football regular season's over. I mean, it flew by.
It has.
Well, it's technically not over. Hey, all that black morning, what'd you think about that black outfit? I thought it was ridiculous.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. For this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 74 with a gentle breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 9 miles per hour. Tonight, slight fog and clear skies with lows around 60. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by mostly sunshine and a temperature near 75. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
ESPN Northwest Florida is an active member of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We want to introduce the newest members to the Beach Chamber. Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Ford Insurance Agency, Hammer Down Multisports, Recovery Bay Center, Scenic Spice Travel, Schulstadt Rentals, Capiche Staffing and Cleaning Company Incorporated, Soleil Plage Rentals, and Top Shelf GC and Pools. Congratulations from the only local sports talk station, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
It all seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, coming up on December 2nd is what?
Do we have a 10K happening?
No.
Oh.
But it has to do with that. That's the 1K that they don't have.
Oh, okay.
It's the Daybreak 76 Panama City Beach Marathon coming up on Saturday, December 2nd. It's a marathon, half marathon, a 5K. So if you did the 5K twice, it would be a 10K. Yeah. You also got the Kids Fun Run that's proudly presented by Visit Panama City Beach and hosted by the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. You can go to pcbmarathon.com, click that register button, put in code ESPN RUN, and you'll get 10% off. It's Tuesday. It's 11:20 here in the Central Time Zone, so that only means one thing, Jay Henley. That means we got Doc A, Steve Alexander on the line. Writer forever, now currently writing for ESPN, RotoWire, and has their own, I forget the name of your site, Steve, so I apologize for that one. But how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. What's the name of the site again?
It's Sportstopia.
Sportstopia. I was thinking I had Zootopia stuck in my head. But
it happens to me every time.
There you go. I'm sure you're fresh off doing all sorts of podcasts this morning. So I want to jump right in. I have a question for you first to get started. And I haven't really been paying too much attention, but then I saw a commercial last night about this NBA Cup. What is that all about?
I assume that's what they're calling the in-season tournament?
Yes.
Yep. So every Friday and every Tuesday, supposedly, but not this Tuesday, which is today, there are no NBA games scheduled for tonight. And the reason being is because it is November 7th. It is voting day. And for whatever reason, the NBA decided that for you to vote for your city council members' seats today,
whatever it may be,
at noon, if there's a Celtics game at 7 o'clock tonight, that's going to interfere with your ability to go vote. I don't think that's really the case. The polls are closed when the games start. I wish we had NBA basketball tonight, but we don't. That is my old man rant for the day. I'm not happy that there are no games tonight.
Yeah, that is wild. I didn't even realize that was the case. But, yeah, there's a lot of – usually the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you can't find a way to do that and watch your favorite NBA team, maybe we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, right? Like, anyway, that is my – like, what am I going to do tonight, Ryan? Like, hang out with my family?
Oh, you wouldn't want to do that. That sounds terrible.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. My wife and a bunch of old ladies play Yahtzee over at the local bar porch on Tuesday nights. I guess I'll go maybe play some Yahtzee with them. My daughter is hosting a music bingo game at another establishment after that. Maybe I'll go do that.
See, look at all these options you got. All sorts of stuff you can do.
maybe I'll sit down and have dinner with some of the people I live with. Like it's going to be a weird Tuesday.
It's weird. Hey, you could come down here to Panama City Beach and coach some 4th and 5th grade flag football with me and David Hayes if you want.
Ooh, that is enticing.
I know.
But
dangling.
But back to the tournament.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be on Fridays and Tuesdays. The schedule, their teams are broken up into pools of 5 in each division. So there's 15. Three divisions of 5 in the East, 3 divisions of 5 in the West. They play each other every Tuesday and Friday. And then when December 1st gets here, the schedule, if you look at the NBA schedule, it's open for the first week of December. That's when they're going to have the quarterfinals and the finals for these pools. And the 3 pool winners get in, and then there's a wild card. So there's 4 from each conference. And then they play in playoff format the first week of December. And then they have a final game in Vegas. I don't know the date. To determine the in-season champion, there's money incentives for the players and whatnot. And it's just trying to add a little more drama and mystique to early NBA season, because casual NBA fans are like, oh man, I don't start watching the NBA till Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And Adam Silver doesn't like that. He wants people watching the NBA all the time. So it does make the games on Tuesdays and Fridays a little more intense. It adds a little drama to it.
Yeah, it's kind of making them, not, this is lack of a better term, but kind of making the guys care a little bit more this time of year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And hopefully the fans as well.
Nice.
So that's what that tournament's all about. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, I appreciate that, because I had not really known that was going on, and then saw, like I said, I saw a commercial about it, I think when I was watching, might have been Monday Night Football last night, and I was like, I'm going to have to ask. We have Doc A coming on next. I'm going to have to ask him, so I appreciate that very much. All right, let's talk. Last Tuesday, we talked a little bit about Wemby, and I know he had a big game late last week, but what are your thoughts on him so far, 9 games into the season for the Spurs?
Absolute freak. He's incredible. There's pictures out there on Twitter of him standing next to Kevin Durant at the free throw, lined up for free throws. And Durant looks like a small guy standing next to Wembanyama. And that game you're talking about, he had 38 and 10 and led his team to a win over the, Kevin Durant and the Suns. And every night out, he's just doing ridiculous things that nobody's really seen anyone do before. He's among the lead leaders in blocks. He's hitting threes. He's handling the ball. He's everything as advertised. He's played every game. He's been very durable so far. I mean, we're not very far in, but he's everything I hoped for. I drafted him in a 30-team league.
Whew.
And in that 30-team league, I have him. I have De'Aaron Fox. I have Austin Reeves. I have and I have Cam Thomas, who's tearing it up, scoring like 35 a night for the Brooklyn Nets. And I have the best 30-team league I've had in a long time, and it's anchored by Wemby, and I'm super fired up about it.
So there's 30 teams in this fantasy league that you're in.
That is correct. I got Wemby with the first-round pick. My first-round pick was 25th overall.
And he was still floating around out there. Wow. That's wild. Yeah. But I guess, I mean, in compared to football, do you play 5 people in NBA fantasy? How does that work?
That league, we start 8.
Okay. Gotcha.
8 guys. So we basically are drafting almost all but the bottom 50 to 75 players in the league. So it gets pretty tough. That's why the fact I have a roster full of guys, I have 8 guys who are basically all starters for their NBA teams on that 30-team league. And if I can stay healthy, it's going to be hard to beat me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's because it's just getting so thin as you get later in those draft picks. That's for sure. But going back to the start of this season, Steph Curry is off to another hot start, averaging 30.9 points per game, and he's at 5.9 three-pointers made per game right now. Are you surprised he's still so hot, or do you expect him to slow down at any point, or do you think he's just, even though he's getting older in age NBA-wise, it's just the way he plays basketball, it kind of doesn't necessarily wear on him as much?
Orange is the new black. 40 is the new 30. I think that totally applies to Steph Curry. Like, I'm looking it up right now. He's 35 years old. So I think we've got 3 more years of the Steph Curry as we know him right now. Like, he just doesn't seem like age is going to impact him much, sort of like LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised at what he's doing. The Warriors are 6-2. Good start to the season. Curry looks amazing, and I just don't see him slowing down or losing it for at least a couple more years.
Crazy, and he's a great golfer too, Jay Henley.
He is. Yeah, he
5.9 threes per game. He's basically averaging 18 points a game just in 3-pointers.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Anybody?
I haven't spent a lot of time watching Austin Reeves play golf, but I've heard that Austin Reeves is better than Steph Curry at golf.
Oh, wow.
That maybe we'll see him in the Tahoe American Century Championship.
That's coming up in December.
Is it coming up?
Or January, yeah. It seems like it's in the off-season.
I think it's in the summer because that's the off-season for the NBA.
Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
it's
also Lake Tahoe in the wintertime. There's a lot.
So yeah, look up Austin Reeves golf and see what you can find. I think you might be impressed. I hear he's very good.
That's cool. I mean, there's a lot of correlation between good golfers and NBA players that are not, 7'4".
Yeah,
because I could imagine trying to see Wemby hitting a golf shot. That would be.
I was watching.
Interesting.
I was watching Barkley hit golf balls yesterday. Somehow it popped up on social media somewhere, and he's come a long way, man. He's hitting the ball good. He's actually turned into a pretty decent golfer.
Yeah, once they finally worked that hitch out, he's definitely he's actually hitting the ball a pretty long way as well because he's a big guy. And in golf, the wider and longer your arc is, the further that golf ball goes, as long as you're controlling it. And
he really gave hitch in your giddy up a whole new meaning.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, that phrase was built for him. Yeah, absolutely. And people need to change their tone now when they see somebody with a terrible golf swing. You're like, hey, you look like Charles Barkley, because now it can almost be a compliment.
Oh, I mean, it had to be mental. I don't think it was anything physical with Charles back in the day. I mean, he's still in good shape today, but it had to be a mental thing that he had to overcome.
Well, and you got to put so much effort into fixing something like that's so naturally not natural in your golf swing. All right, get back to some NBA talk. Any of these teams that have jumped out to a hot start? The Celtics 5-1, Sixers 6-1, Bucks 4-2. Then on the West side, Nuggets 7-1, Mavs 6-1, Warriors 6-2. Any of those teams surprising? Maybe the Mavericks a little bit, but you've been really high on the Mavericks in the last couple of weeks.
I was actually down on the Mavericks. I was like, how are they going to win 43 games, which is what Vegas had them at, I believe, with only Luka Doncic running the show? But so far, that's all they've needed. They're 6-1. Kyrie showed up and played the last couple games. They're getting really good play out of this rookie center, Derek Lively, who, if you need a center for your fantasy basketball team, go pick him up. Dallas looks good. Tim Hardaway Jr. Scored over 20 points last night. Like, I'm surprised at how good Dallas looks. I'm also a little surprised that the Bucks. I'm not surprised about it, but I don't think the Bucks are going to be as good as we think they're going to be. It goes back to what we talked about last time: losing Jrue Holiday's defense.
Yeah,
adding Damian Lillard's lack of defense, and then Chris Middleton only playing 15 to 20 minutes a night because he's coming off a huge knee injury last year. They just, I think they're gettable in the East. I think the East is going to come down to Boston and Philadelphia. I don't know if Milwaukee's going to do it this year.
What about you and David Hayes' Indiana Pacers? Off to a pretty decent start, 4-3 through 7 games, hanging in there pretty good. I know it's early, but what are your thoughts on the Pacers?
I think they hung 155 points on the Wemby Spurs last night. Blew them out of the gym. It cost me a big props parlay because Zach Collins for the Spurs hit a early three-pointer. I just needed him to hit one more three-pointer anytime in the second half, and I would have won a bunch of money. But they were down 50, and he didn't play much after that, and that killed me. But, yeah, the Pacers, again, Tyrese Halliburton is a monster. Miles Turner's really good. Bruce Brown is a veteran that's kind of holding things together for them in the locker room and on the court, both ends of the floor. So Pacers look pretty good. My Hawks are also 4-3. They look decent. The teams we thought were going to stink kind of stink. The Washington Wizards, the Detroit Pistons, the Spurs, the Trailblazers. The team in the West that's off to a slow start, it's kind of disturbing, is the Sacramento Kings and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies finally won a game. They're 1-6. The Kings are 2-4. Grizzlies are without Ja Morant. The Kings have been without De'Aaron Fox for a few games. He's got a sprained ankle. So those are the surprisingly bad teams in the league right now.
I was going to say, Doc, I know it's been kind of a season, especially on the Major League Baseball side of things, where there's been a lot of records broke this past year. I was reading a little bit about Russell Westbrook being 42 triple-doubles in one season. If you could predict someone this season to break that, who would it be?
Luka.
Okay. I got you.
Luka Doncic.
Good question, Jay.
He's doing everything, man. I mean, he's hitting threes. He's scoring. He's top 3 in the league in scoring, I believe. He's probably top 3 in the league in assists and rebounds also. I mean, he's just doing everything. I think a lot of triple-doubles are coming his way this year. Bam Adebayo had a big triple-double last night. I think he had 20, 20, and 10. Center for the Heat down there in Florida.
Nice.
But he'll have 3 or 4 triple-doubles, but Luka should have, 20 triple-doubles. I don't know if he'll break Westbrook's record. That year was sort of a dream season for Westbrook and what he did. But Westbrook's triple-double days are probably over now that James Harden is a Clipper and played for the Clippers last night.
How did he look out there?
He had like 18 points and 6 assists, but Paul George was 2 of 11 for 10 points. Kawhi Leonard had a pedestrian line. Westbrook was kind of average. They got killed by the Knicks. It's one game, so we'll have to see how that whole scenario plays out. But I don't know how it's going to work to have all those guys that need the ball in their hands on the court at the same time. It just seems like a disaster in the making.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We got about a minute left. You were talking about prop betting, and we talk a lot about sports betting here, even though it's not yet legal in the state of Florida, yet being the key word. What are some of the prop bets that you kind of gravitate towards when it comes to the NBA?
Well, it's not legal in Georgia either, but Underdog Fantasy is. And Underdog Fantasy is essentially they put out a number and you guess whether the guy's going to go higher or lower. And you can do up to 5-player props. And the one I had last night, let's see if I can find this real quick. The one I had last night that I thought was going to hit with my guy Zach Collins needing 1 3-pointer to win me $122 on a $5 bet. The other part of that was Isaiah Stewart for the Pistons. He needed to have 2 3-pointers. He hit 3 of them in the first quarter, so I was good there. Kevon Looney, who's a center for the Warriors, needed 1 block. He got that in the second quarter. And Jonathan Kuminga of the Warriors needed 1 block, and he got that in the first quarter. So all I needed was a Zach Collins 3.
1 more 3, yeah.
With 3 quarters left to play, and he just couldn't do it because of the blowout score. And really, blowouts play a big factor in prop bets in the NBA because once a lead gets so big, those guys sit on the bench the rest of the game. So
yeah,
but there's tons of options at Underdog, and it's pretty fun to play. It's a good time.
I think there's another one, Sleeper Fantasy, something like that might be legal here in Florida. I'm working with another guy about potentially getting some sponsorship from him. Real quick, Doc, where can we find you?
RotoWire and ESPN and Sportstopia. I'm all over the place in all those websites, and I've got podcasts happening all the time, and I'm DOCKTORA on Twitter. That's a weird way to say Dr. A.
Yeah. But, yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you as always, and I know there's a lot of big NBA fans here in our neck of the woods, so we appreciate your insight and updates on everything NBA. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We'll see you on Tuesday.
Sounds good. Coming up next, we have Ivy Shepard from the JMU women's golf team. Jay's going to be bringing her in and asking her all sorts of cool questions. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, any place, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Dublin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Excited. Now we have a James Madison University, the assistant women's golf coach, Ivy Shepard, on the line with us. Ivy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing great. Got Jay Henley here in studio with me, and excited to talk to you this morning.
Ivy, thanks for taking your time out of your day to come talk with us about some James Madison women's golf.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So I was kind of reading up on you a little bit. I used to, this is just very random, I used to work at a place in South Carolina called Mount Vintage Plantation. When I was there, we had a junior golfer, Mackenzie Talbert, who was part of that first Clemson's women's golf team. So I don't know if you know Mackenzie or not.
I don't know her super well, but she definitely popped by a few times when I played there.
There you go. Her and Sloan Shanahan used to play in this big tournament we had out there at Mount Vintage Plantation. But how is it transitioning from, you were an extremely high-level women's amateur. You played at the Augusta National Women's Amateur. How has it been transitioning from the playing side to the coaching side?
It's definitely been a little bit of a challenge, but, I love it. So I think the most difficult part is, it was such a quick transition. It went from playing and, having aspirations aspirations to play professional golf to immediately jumping straight over to coaching, like the transition from playing to now teaching people or helping people play better was very quick. So it's a everyday learning experience. Every day I'm learning something new. But yeah, it's been difficult, but I love it, and it's really cool to see, the girls around you develop a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, typically, it's more, a longer transition, so to speak. Do you think because you're so young as an assistant coach that helps relate a little bit more to the girls on the team?
I do. I believe so. It's been nice because, as you guys know, golf has changed so much in the last 10, 15 years just with the technology and, everything moving from, when you used to go to a swing coach, it wasn't really video. It was just kind of, hey, you just kind of need to work on this. But now it's, every swing's videoed. Every kid knows their TrackMan numbers. Every kid knows their carry numbers down to the 0.5. So it's such a different, golf is such a different world than it used to be. And I think coming straight from that into coaching has helped me at least on the golf piece of it. And then obviously there's the relational piece, having a little bit better of an ear for the locker room. Girls really comfortable to come to you and talk to you. But it's been really cool to see how they've kind of clung to me, not necessarily as a friend, but more as a mentor, which has been really cool for only being, 6 months older than a couple of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ivy, is there like a former coach in your life that's kind of giving you this opportunity to maybe be a golf coach? I mean, do you have a mentor that kind of led you in this direction?
I think it kind of goes back to where I played college. I always told myself. So I've had people come to me since I was like playing college golf or even older in high school. They're like, hey, you'd make a great coach. I was like, heck no, I'm not letting my living being dictated by a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old girls. That is not happening.
Right.
But here I am. So
never say never, right?
Never say never, obviously, because it happens.
Yeah.
But my first assistant coach at Clemson, Heather Bowie Young, she was an incredible player. She played on the Solheim Cup, won a couple national championships. In college, won on the LPGA Tour, was just a fantastic player that transitioned to coaching. She was such a big part of my life, not necessarily in the golf world, but also in developing as a great young lady and those sort of things. And she just was such a big mentor to me. She was the first person I called when I decided this is what I want to do, and she gave me a lot of really great advice. And then going into my last season at Kentucky, my two coaches there, the head coach, Golda Borst, and the assistant coach, Will Salee, they helped me so much and develop it. That's, like, I brought up to them that's what I want to do, and they just helped me kind of get going the right steps, make some phone calls for me. And, Will's kind of the person I want to be. Like, he was young. He's a good dude and a good leader. And just a great player. So
that's great. What's the vibe on campus right now? Because, look, we started this radio show back 6 months ago. I had no idea who or what James Madison University was, but now I'm learning you guys have a great football team. You're undefeated. You have a basketball team that beat Michigan State last night, which is phenomenal. What's the vibe on campus as you're kind of getting used to, being on campus?
It's electric. It's awesome. So I also didn't know much about it. I had a really good friend who actually played golf here, so that's really the only reason I knew about it in general.
Yeah.
But kind of you start to learn more about it, and you get here, and it's this nice diamond in the rough sort of feel. Kind of everybody, we love being the underdogs here, and you can tell in the athletic department that's kind of the mindset that they like to roll with. And, I think people, once they get here, they realize how great it is. The alumni base here is incredible. You come back, and these alumni are just always supporting. They're always back, and you see them out everywhere. You wouldn't believe how many times you're in the airport and someone's like, oh, James Madison, I went to school here, or my daughter went to school here. And it's like, it happened more than when you were at Clemson. It was ridiculous how many little James Madison people were around that just were really quiet about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was great.
Yeah, I was kind of educating Jay earlier on. I went to Coastal Carolina, so I was very familiar with James Madison coming up in the football world and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so given how much golf is mental, what do y'all do as a team to make sure everybody's staying as grounded and as calm as possible? We talk to a lot of golf coaches, and we even talk to a lot of mental coaches, and just want to hear your perspective on what you guys do with your team as far as the mental side of things.
I know that we've just started this new thing this offseason. I've always done it as a player, but, I talked to Tommy Baker, the head coach here, and we had a good sit-down conversation. we do feel like that's a big piece of the game. It is a big piece of the game, and just trying to touch more on it. So we have them all. We got them these things called like practice journals. So he's got them a bullet point or a ruled journal, and they all have one in their golf bag. And after every practice, so we get in those journals, and they a bullet point write down a ruled journal. They write down kind of how they did, what they did, how it felt, where their mental was at, like if they're thinking about what they're having for dinner, or if they were like really focused on the drill. But just those little things, and we're just really just trying to create a hyper sense of awareness and then in what they're doing in their game. So that's kind of where that came from.
So as you kind of move, so how does the season work right now? Are you guys in a transition phase, or what's your next tournament coming up for James Madison?
Right. So we just got done with the fall season, which we played 5 tournaments, and then we have a little bit of an off season where they're still practicing, but it's you transition from 20-hour weeks to 8-hour weeks. So they're in an 8-hour week session right now, and then they'll get back from Christmas break, and I think sometime into January, we'll start rolling again, and our first tournament will be early February.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you homesick yet?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. I got
you. More like family sick a little bit. I kind of miss seeing them more than I'm used to. But
what's your Thanksgiving plans? Are you going to make it back home?
I am. I'm excited. I get to go back home, and Thanksgiving's great. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, good.
And that's where was from the Atlanta area, right?
Yeah. I had met Ivy at Cannon Gate up in Atlanta, and I think at the time, so you were at Clemson in 22, and then you finished out at Kentucky in 23, right? Just recently?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, just recently.
And she was a top 40 women's world amateur ranking.
Played at the Augusta National Women's Amateur.
Yeah. What year did you reach that top 40 status, Ivy?
Oh, goodness. Shoot, 2021.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, kind of 2021, like the end of 2020, kind of into 21, and then the beginning of 22 is kind of where that all was.
So, I was going to say, do you still feel like you want to be active in the game? And how's your game right now in comparison to all the coaching you've been doing? Are you finding time for your game?
Oh my gosh, I miss it so much. I get the itch all the time.
Yeah.
So, but I've heard from other coaches that doesn't go away. So, but yeah, I definitely still want to stay involved. I'm just kind of, I don't know. Do I believe I could have been a professional golfer and been successful? Yes. Do I believe that just because you're good enough, you should do it? No. I think my heart and, I spent a lot of time in prayer and trying to find what where I was supposed to be going, what I was supposed to be doing. And I think my heart's just tailored more to helping the next generation and mentoring them into that next step of life, whatever that may be, if it is on the golf course or not. But yeah, I definitely still want to play. I'm still going to be playing amateur stuff, I think, try and do my U.S. AM qualifiers, my U.S. Open qualifiers, just get my little fix in when I can.
Yeah, there you go. So can you, this is a really odd question, but is there anybody on the team that can beat you?
Oh, yeah, I mean.
I know, I put you on the spot there. I just had to ask.
So, you know what, I'll answer that question. So, we went out and played with the girls, the 5 that were getting ready to travel to a tournament. We took them to a nice course and just played around. I went with them, and we did like a little 9-hole. It was a 2v2 4-ball, and then the last 9 holes was a singles match. Well, the first 9 holes, I was 4 under through 6 holes. Whew. So, I was doing pretty well there. Then the back 9, the little driver yips hit, and you can't hit a fairway. And I did. One of the girls beat me in match play, so she was very, very excited. But yes, they can beat me.
I like to. I hear it in your voice, though. That's why I wanted to ask that question. You've got it, but you got to keep them, and that's got to be a thing too. It's good for them when you have a coach like yourself who literally just came out of Division 1 high level golf, coming right into a team in a new season. You being able to get out there and compete with them a little bit can probably help create some of those real life golf tournament scenarios when they're out there playing.
Right, yeah. I love playing with them. I think they like when I play with them too. Hopefully I get to do a little more coming up soon. It's been a pretty fast fall season, a lot of traveling. When you play 5 tournaments in 2 months, it's a lot of get home, pack, and go to the next place. But hopefully here in the next little bit we can play a little more. So.
Ivy, I know during COVID I stayed so busy at Canongate giving lessons I didn't get an opportunity to spend a lot of time with you. But I will say this because I know you're very humble. There was a group of high school kids at that time back in 2020 that you played a lot of golf with, and you made a big difference in their lives because, I remember them coming off 18 green and going, we played golf with Ivy today. We played golf with that. So keep doing what you're doing, girl. I think you're doing great things, and I can't believe, very mature for your age.
Oh, unbelievable.
23?
Yes, sir, 23.
Yeah, very mature.
Yeah, very impressive in your coaching career. I'm going to ask you one more question before we got to hit the top of the hour break. We're good friends with Amy Bond. She's the coach at FSU.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to her many times about the Augusta National Women's Amateur from the coach's perspective. But real quick, just give us a quick synopsis of that event. I used Mount Vintage Plantation right across the river. I was in that market for a while, but just the experience had to be unbelievable.
If you could have a video on my face right now, I'm smiling ear to ear. Like that's what it does to you. It's the most incredible thing to play as a player. Just if you can get over the fact that it is Augusta.
The shock and awe of, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little easier to play some good golf, but, when you're stepping in there, and they treat you like royalty, and it obviously is the premier, most prestigious event you can play as a female amateur golfer. And, it was incredible. From how they treat you, from all the green jackets and them coming up and interacting with you and just creating those connections. And I'm sure Amy has a great point of view from it also because Amy's been there a few times as a coach, and she's a great lady and someone I look up to. But yeah, it was really, really, really neat and really cool. And I can't say anything other than it's just a lot of awe.
Like a surreal kind of experience. Yeah. No, absolutely. Ivy, we appreciate you very much. We're definitely going to do it again sometime, especially when you guys get into your spring season. And we're JMU fans down here in the Florida Panhandle, so we appreciate you guys connecting and getting this going. And we'll follow along, and good luck. Have a great winter break, and good luck this spring season.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
That's Ivy Shepard. She's the assistant women's golf coach up there at James Madison University. When we get back, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the NFL standings. It's halfway through the season, Jay Henley, already. It is wild. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be back with some afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for Mosley Dolphin football. The rivalries are back.
Listen to every game right here with play-by-play in ultra-high fidelity.
Mosley Dolphin football on ESPN Northwest Florida is presented by Panama City Toyota, Orthopedic Specialists, Ellis Agency Insurance, Barbaritos Southwestern Grill and Cantina, Culligan Water, Chapman Wealth Management, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
Your authorized CKIM and Zoomed dealer.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. For this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 74 with a gentle breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 9 miles per hour. Tonight, slight fog and clear skies with lows around 60. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by mostly sunshine and a temperature near 75. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
You're home to the NFL. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The holidays can be a stressful time for you and your pets. If you plan on hosting events in your home, it is important that you make sure your dog is prepared and comfortable. Brought to you by the Humane Society of Bay County. Holidays with Dogs and Guests is an hour-long class that will help you understand your dog's behaviors and how to correct them in a busy setting. Learn commands, distractions, and ways to redirect unwanted behavior by joining us November 11th at 10 a.m. Class will be held at our thrift and gift store. For more details and to register, visit adoptme.org or call 850-640-4708.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, you take all the station identifications and all that stuff. Can you do this?
104.3 Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's it.
That's it.
There's a lot of other places you can hear us and find
YouTube,
us. Well, he
Twitch.
read off the sign, Jay.
I don't care. I don't care. Good job, buddy. I've seen him read stuff before and be like, "What are you talking about,
that's
brother?"
true.
I
can read, which is surprising given those Griffin SAT scores.
Right.
Class of '98.
Yep.
Whoop whoop.
Class of '98. We weren't great.
Yeah. Mr. Rogers did a great job. Sesame Street helped me out. I just want to thank all my sponsors.
A 2, a 3. You can only go to 10, can't you?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
DS.
Nah, he can get up to 20.
Can you?
Yeah, toes.
Yeah, I can. Uh-huh.
Were you about to do it in Spanish? En español?
I can.
Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I thought you were going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I did too, pretty fly for a white guy.
It felt like it. It felt like you were going to do. But anyway.
Yeah. Hey, man. Afternoon delight, man. It's all is right in the world.
Your whole day changes.
All is right.
Goes from the morning to the afternoon.
Yep.
Brought us in by the Starlight Vocal Band.
I love the morning, but there's something about the afternoon, man. It's like
it's delightful.
It's on the way down.
Yeah, it's getting dark early now.
I know.
Which means we'll be practicing under the lights tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Tuesday night.
I got to go buy another football in between middle school basketball and the practice. Got to have 2 footballs at practice.
Is there any? If I can help you, let me know.
No.
Okay.
I don't. I got it. We'll go to academy. But yeah, we use a junior size football in 4th, 5th.
Might as well just make them sling the adult.
Sling the big
Let's
one.
get used to it, boys.
Yep.
And
that pass went 7.2 yards.
Yeah. And then practice being under center, and they can never be under center anyway.
Yep. Yeah. David just read all the rules. He's up to date now.
So, what's your mindset as a coach? Because you've hired David Hayes as your defensive coordinator. I tried to get the job.
Let's not say hired till I'm getting paid. No,
okay, I got it. But do you feel like you're more of an offensive-minded coach, or do you feel like you're more of a defensive-minded?
No, I'm definitely offensive.
Oh, you're offensive.
Which is what flag football is.
So
flag football is an offensive game. There is no doubt. It's about scoring points.
Okay.
It's just hard. It's hard to play defense in flag football because it's pulling flags. And that's, as you know from when we played adult flag, that is not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Especially if you'd like all your fingers to not be broken.
Mm-hmm. That's
an easy thing. This knuckle's still all jacked up. But anyway, yeah, and I'm excited because David loves the defensive side of football, and I'm just excited to have, and I've had a lot of people helping out over the years. I had Joe Tannehill was my defensive coordinator this summer, and that just was a huge weight lifted off me because you gotta have your scripts, you gotta have your plays, you gotta have everything ready to go, and being able to not have to worry about one side of the ball and allowing you to focus on getting what you want to do on the next. I know that sounds silly because we're talking about youth flag football, but that's the reality. It allows me to figure out, okay, what's my personnel going to look like? What kind of plays are we going to start with? Is the defense going to get us the ball? Where are we going to get it? So I'm excited.
It's more of a rhythm and a song and dance than most people. I mean, from a coach's eye, right?
Oh,
I mean, it's a dance.
Football is definitely the rhythm, the dance. You're trying to get moving, you're trying to get going, and all that stuff. And knowing how excited David is, that makes me excited as well. So I'm more excited for this season than I'm always excited for flag, but I'm very excited for this season. That's for sure.
I really am too. Especially this is going to be my first venture in any type of real coaching outside of. I wouldn't consider running a adult softball team would be coaching by any stretch of the imagination. That's like a team thing through and through. So yeah, really excited about this, the opportunity, and man, I just want to go out there and help the kids have fun. That's 100% it. I'll let Ryan do all the stuff. He'll tell me what I need to do, and then I'll do that.
Hey, well, it'll flow. It'll be a joint effort, and it's a great group of kids, and it'll be a lot of fun. And we got a lot of kids this year, and unfortunately, we we weren't able to keep every kid that we wanted to, and we're excited about this year coming up. That's for sure.
David's middle name by the end of the season is going to be Stonewall.
Yeah.
David Stonewall Hayes.
Even though you can't block in flag football.
Well, you can set those screens.
You can set screens.
Right.
Run your route, set the screen, and then you have somebody coming right over the top. Anyway, lots of good stuff to go on with the flag football, and I know the area is excited about that relationship. Southern Elite Sports and Panama City, the city of Panama City, have to be able to put on that awesome league. You know what else is awesome, Jay?
What's that?
Berg Title. Why choose Berg? Because they've got great accuracy, communication, and problem solving. They're locally owned and operated right there in downtown Panama City. They close with care, and that's all that matters. If you care in this day and age, that goes such a long way. And people who are willing to go above and beyond and actually truly care in business, that makes a huge difference. They'll come to you to fit your client's needs. As a real estate agent, you may not be able to come and do the closing in the office. They'll come to you with scheduled mobile closings, notaries, and a lot more. Give their office a call, 850-250-2900, and Crystal Whiteley, one of the best in the biz when it comes to title closing services. That's Berg Title.
Now, how do you spell Berg for our listeners?
Guess.
B-E-R-G. No?
No, you get a 50-50 shot.
B-U-R-G.
Correct. Bing, 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 bing.
Kind of like that part in Smokey and the Bandit when he was trying to write out Big Enos Burdett. B-U-R. I got to
It goes back to the team that Mosley's playing this weekend coming up.
Right, Buckholz.
Yeah.
I think it's Buckholz.
All right. Busey's.
That's how I said it at first, and then someone corrected me on that. So Buchholz is what I'm going with until I get corrected again.
You need to get Gary.
Lynn Haven Rob will know for sure. So Lynn Haven Rob, just shoot me a text if you are listening at 850-215-6290. I know you got the number programmed, but it is Buchholz, right? Because I don't want to go all Thursday evening calling the game.
Spoiler alert, though, the text will not work with that. He's going to have to sound that out.
Well, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, just say
okay,
yes, that is correct.
Yeah,
that is
because
correct.
if not, then he can call me. He's got my number. He can call me and no, son, this is how you say it.
Yeah, it's either Bu or Buck. But I think he's right. Buchholz. Like Busey's, Gary Busey.
And it's kind of wild too. I guess what makes it kind of, instead of being Buchholz, being Buchholz, is that it's got two H's, so it's B-U-C-H-H. So maybe that's what it is. The English
that makes
language,
sense.
though.
Yeah, the English language
Wild.
makes zero sense. That is for sure. But Mosley Dolphins playing 2 days from now. That is for sure. I think he's probably telling David how to pronounce it right now. That is for sure. Did you watch any of that game last night, Jay?
Who played last night?
The Jets and the Chargers.
Okay. I knew the Chargers were up for a bit, and that's all I got on that game.
Yeah, and the rest was history. Their defense kind of smothered the Jets' offense last night. And I know Bill was talking to me in the golf shop this morning. It's pretty crazy. He needed, in the match he was playing in another fantasy league, he needed Herbert to score less than 10.2 points in order to win. And you would think that Justin Herbert would get that. Well, he didn't, but the Chargers still won 27-6 in that one. The New York Jets offense could not get anything going, and a lot of drops early on in that game, and unfortunate fumble there by Garrett Wilson on a promising first drive that the Jets had. And it, pretty much once that punt return touchdown happened, the rest was pretty much history. But what kind of shocked me, and this goes back to David Hayes and his Aaron Rodgers conspiracy theory, walking out of the tunnel, throwing footballs out on the field, and I think it was 56 days or something like that since he tore his Achilles tendon. So
it was probably in his contract to do that he had to make an appearance, probably.
So he had this one big grand entrance on 9/11.
Yep.
And then he's going to do it again.
Yeah. Well, just to show the fans that he's still a Jet. So.
Or the fact that all this crazy stuff he does maybe actually is expediting the body's healing process.
Do you think he comes back at the end of the season?
I don't know how he would, but given everything that David's been saying, and then you consider seeing him out there, and I forget what it was, but I think he said, "We'll see you soon," or something like that, when he was talking to one of the Chargers players. I forget the name, after the game, and he said, "Yeah, we'll see you soon." So who knows? Aaron Rodgers is such an enigma, but if the Jets just had a lick of offense with how good their defense is, I know the Chargers won pretty handedly, but it was on the Chargers defensive side that really brought them together. But man, Jets are 4-4, and Chargers are 4-4. I would have never thought that with Aaron Rodgers going out.
So you're kind of enlightening me on the fact that maybe Aaron Rodgers comes back Week 15, takes the Jets to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, and it's a Cinderella story that Roger Goodell has written up in his playbook.
It could be. It goes back to the old NFL script.
Mm-hmm.
Is it scripted? Did he really tear his Achilles tendon? Is he being healed up by Goose Fraba or whatever it is that he does in the dark?
I smell what y'all are stepping in.
There you go. We'll find out. If he plays this season, it'll be unreal.
Yeah.
He tore his Achilles tendon. It's one of the most important tendons in your body as far as running and throwing.
Right.
And it's his right foot. That's where you push off and drive into your left side and you pivot, and then it's just like golf. You know, when you're throwing it's rotational, and you know, the golf swing, you're posting up on your left side if you're a right-handed golfer. It's the same thing. That's how you generate velocity in throwing a football, is that left side basically is stopping while the top side is rotating, and that snap is what creates power. And you need your Achilles tendons to do that.
And what is he, 42?
No, I think he's still in his
Is he still
30s.
in his 30s? Yeah, I mean, on top of all that, I mean,
let's find out how old he is. Aaron Rodgers' age. You know, you got a computer out too.
Yeah,
39.
39. Yep. People also search for Tom Brady, Shailene Woodley, I don't know who that is, and Russell Wilson. Tom Brady's 46.
Jeez.
How old is Russell Wilson? Do you know? Just guess.
26.
Goodness gracious.
I'll
That's
say-
why I asked, because
Yeah.
I wanted to hear what he say.
I'll say 36.
Close. A little high.
So 35?
34.
34.
What'd you say, 26?
Yeah, 26.
Jesus, Jay.
He's only been out of college for about 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember vividly when he was over there at North Carolina State and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, the Badgers.
I mean, there's a lot of them come out of high school, straight out of high school.
For football?
Yeah.
No, there's 0.
Huh?
Yeah, you can't go from high school to the NFL. Sorry.
Yeah,
To
what
burst
about-
your bubble. NBA? Different. Well,
No, you got to do 1 year.
yeah, or you got to go to like the G League, right?
You can do that now. You can go to the G League or you can come from overseas. Yeah.
But what about all the player announcements at the beginning of the game where half of them don't even say their university?
That's because they're wanting to say their high school to give their high school some rep. This is great.
It really is, though, because I do love that for a while. Like when Alabama players would do that, I'd be like, come on. But here's another way to look at it is like there's so many players in the league. Normally when it's a smaller college, they don't say their high school. They say the college. But how many players go on Sunday Night Football or whatever the primetime game is where they're doing those introductions and they'll say Alabama or they'll say Florida State or they'll say Ohio State or Michigan, go on and on and on. The list goes. But how often do you hear those high schools? So that's really cool for the high schools, in my opinion. Like the other day, you know, Joe Burrow, Athens High School in Ohio. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
But you know the way my mind thinks, I automatically think he didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And, you know, please tell me there's somebody else out there that still thinks the same thing.
I got to imagine that there's one other person out of 8 billion that think you can go right from high school to the NFL.
I want to hang out with that guy.
You're never alone in this world.
No, you're not. But that's brilliant. That would be a task if you went from playing high school football to the NFL. Whew.
We're moving that way.
No, we're not moving that way. We might be moving further away from it. Now, the only thing that I guess is getting a little bit closer is like you brought up yesterday, the pressures of the NIL and all of that stuff, which is why, I mean, dude, if it's affecting them like that, they definitely deserve something. Like, you know what I mean? But what if there's something to where they could be like, okay, this is how it's going to go. Your parent or your guardian is going to get maybe not control of, but you're going to get some sort of a trust fund. And then you get a monthly allowance and a yearly allowance. And then by the time you graduate, because, man, when you get a lot of money at 21, 22, and I don't know this for a fact because I never got a lot of money at 21, 22. When I was that age and I got a job that was paying $10 an hour, I was like, what I need college for? I'm making double digits right here now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, for these other guys, man, there's a lot of pressure that comes up with that. And so, you know, there's a lot of them who have a good support system behind them. Then you have others who just weren't blessed with that. So, man, that's it. It can be a dangerous game. And then if that's taken away from what they are getting their college education paid for then it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? But at the end of the day, the schools are profiting off of these young men,
100%.
name, image, and likeness. So that's why there has to be this, but there has to be some sort of guidelines here so that they can set themselves up for the future. And how do you set yourself up for the future? How can these schools do this? How can these collectives do that? By saving money for them for the future.
Yeah, but unfortunately, those collectives and NILs, all they care about is the success of that football team.
And
so
the here and now.
And that's the point. You talk about the kids being used in the schools, profiting on them. It's still kind of the NILs doing the same thing, because if they're not doing anything to help them long term, it's the same concept, except now you're just paying them. But 2032, ESPN, 30 for 30, NIL, the early years.
Yeah.
And how many kids, got all this money and then just fell off? How many professional athletes did that happen to?
Right.
Now, how many collegiate athletes is that going to happen to that don't make it to the next level, or make it to the next level and then fizzle out?
And how many more college athletes are there compared to the NFL?
Oh, gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
You're talking about a 53-man roster, got a little bit practice squad. You're talking about 32 teams.
Yeah.
And
let's call it 2,000 players, yeah.
In the FBS, you're talking about 130 schools. You're talking about 118 to 130 kids on the roster. I mean, it's a situation, I guess. I don't want to say it's a scary situation, because at the end of the day, I mean, it's one of those case by case things. Yeah. And it's another thing that kind of goes back to what we talked about on the podcast, perception versus reality, because our perception of it does not necessarily make it reality, because, again, it's a case-by-case thing. So how that kid is handling it, and it normally is going to be the reality behind it, and then also the support system that they have. Like, we can knock Caleb Williams' dad all we want, but Caleb Williams' dad isn't saying these things for any other reason than he wants the best for his son.
Yeah, absolutely, looking out for the best. And like you said, there's so many in college football, and really in any college sport, but in college football in general, you got kids coming from all sorts of different walks of life, and all of a sudden handed a big old chunk of money, people are going to make just bad decisions. It's just part of life, and that's why it's going to be interesting. I think regulation is coming, and I think once they move to this super conference system and all of that, a lot of it's going to shake out and almost be separate. But Heisman Trophy odds, Jay Henley, who's at the top?
I said Bo Nix a few days ago, but
Bo Nix currently has the second best Heisman Trophy odds at plus 200.
I would say Jordan Travis, but he's probably top 4.
Well, he's the 5th right now at plus 800.
Our boy up in Washington.
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Penix Jr.
Penix Jr.
He's currently plus 150 on the Heisman odds. Jaden Daniels plus 300. J.J. McCarthy at Michigan is plus 600. And then, again, it was Jordan Travis at plus 800. And then it drops off to plus 1,000 and beyond after that. Going all the way down to Shedeur Sanders is still in there at plus 25,000.
Oh. So there's still a chance.
There's always a chance, that's for sure. But yeah, realistically, I would say it's probably those are going to be your 5 guys most likely invited: Penix, Nix, Daniels, McCarthy, and Travis. I'm pulling for Bo just because I did a preseason one on him, and would love for that to happen.
Yeah,
because it was a lot more than plus 200 when the season started.
Where did you say Caleb is?
Caleb's down to plus 5,000.
Is he? Yeah.
He was plus 3,500 after last week. So he's dropped even further now, even though he had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes back to what do all these teams? Well, LSU, not as much anymore after last week against Alabama. But Washington's competing for a Pac-12 championship. Oregon is obviously probably going to be playing Washington for a Pac-12 championship. I just don't see any way, shape, or form USC can win that game. LSU not going to be playing for an SEC championship unless some crazy stuff happens, which even then I don't think, because Ole Miss loses to Georgia this weekend, and that pretty much seals it. And then you got Alabama, Georgia in the driver's seat. J.J. McCarthy from Michigan competing for a Big Ten championship. Jordan Travis from Florida State competing or already in the ACC championship. So it goes back to that best player on the best team. But I don't know if it's always the best player. It's, because the guy, next you got Marvin Harrison Jr. at plus 1,000. He's got the best odds non-quarterback.
But you think with Caleb Caleb and USC's been throwing up 50 points.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think that defense struggle is not giving him the points needed as a second Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I'm saying. Is all these teams with these guys in the top 5 right now with best odds to win the Heisman, all their teams are in competition to win their conference championship. And when we get back, let's pivot on the NFL side and see where we match up on our picks to start the season now that we're halfway through the season officially. Jacksonville this weekend coming up soon. You're listening to the Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Fall Football Finale. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to Florida State versus Florida in Gainesville. Listen to play Gator Trivia at 1240 during the Inside Drive on November 6th, 8th, 9th, and 13th for your chance to qualify. We'll announce the winner live on location from Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor on November 16th during the Inside Drive. From ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. For this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 74 with a gentle breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 9 miles per hour. Tonight, slight fog and clear skies with lows around 60. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by mostly sunshine and a temperature near 75. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
During uncertain times, Gold and Silver Bullion have consistently maintained the financial stability we need. For over 50 years, Coin and Bullion Reserves has served Northwest Florida as your regional choice to protect your future with the peace of mind that hard assets such as Gold and Silver Bullion provide. The fluctuations of the stock market and concern over inflation often lead investors towards safe haven assets like precious metals. If you're concerned about the future of the economy, Coin and Bullion Reserves is here to provide you with the security you need. Come and speak with one of our numismatists so we can help you protect your future.
It's time to pick your path and go big and go bold from Bill Bird Kia. You can drive away in a brand new 2024 Telluride from Bill Bird Kia. The 2024 Telluride protects what matters, and it's built for the long haul. Its technology will connect with confidence, and its upscale, all-around rugged look will take you on to the next adventure. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or BillBirdKia.com.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up on November 14th. Jay, you should probably check this one out, being the big Georgia Bulldog guy you are. It's the Man Up event, formerly known as the Wild Game Supper. That is right there at 640 Grace Avenue, part of First Baptist Church. It's the first men's ministry Man Up event. And I know, talking with Derek McDavid, we were trying to figure out a way to do some golf stuff out there, but it just, schedules and all that stuff not going to work out. But I know there's a lot of awesome people setting up some really cool contests and some fun stuff going on. And your guest speaker for this event is going to be former Georgia coach Mark Richt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Again, that's November 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. right there at First Baptist Church. Man Up event. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be recording the second hour of the show a little early that day so I could try to get over there. I'd be excited about that. I've been able to talk to Mark Richt on the phone before, but not being able to, or haven't, seen him in person. So I'm interested in this.
No, that'll be awesome. That's for sure. We already talked about the upsets, right? We talked about Angel Reese and LSU losing to Colorado.
Did we?
Yeah, David shaking his head. I can see it in my peripheral.
Okay. I got you.
I just like to ask you questions.
Yeah, we did.
There you go. There is your answer.
How many years of college football do you have to play to get to the league there, Jay?
What league are we talking about?
Well, unless you're trying to go to the CFL or XFL. I guess XFL, USFL, but to the NFL. How many years of college football do you have to play minimum?
2. Dang.
It's not 1.
3.
Ding, 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 ding. See, it's Education Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's also Teal Tuesday for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They got a win last night against Piedmont University.
Where is Piedmont University? Sounds like North Carolina.
Y'all played last night on Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Auburn plays tonight against Baylor.
Oh, you're talking basketball.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes. Still basketball. Yep.
I'm like, Auburn on a Tuesday playing a Big 12 school, dude? I am way out of... I need to go study.
Kids are coming out of high school going to the NFL now. It's a whirlwind of things going on. I fell
asleep.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you woke up and things got different. That is for sure. All right, Jay Henley, let's have some fun with these standings. Who's leading the AFC East? Does he have it up on his computer? No, don't pull it up on your computer.
No, he's got Gmail up.
He's got Gmail up. You doing work?
Yeah.
People booking lessons, golfwithjay.com?
Absolutely.
Signing up for the parent-child championship?
Yeah, all the above.
That 8 and 10-year-old division better look out. I haven't played golf in like 3 months, so buckle up, Liam.
Buckle up.
I'm going to ride that young back hard.
I'm trying to figure out how to be a host of this and maybe get Parker out and play in the 13-year-old division, the 10, 11 to 13-year-old.
Why couldn't you?
I could.
Just go out first.
Huh?
Go out first.
Well, I mean, I was gonna do the whole intro thing.
Then go out last.
Yeah, I could go out last. Yeah.
And then you can, one of our lovely golf pros can score the tournament.
Yeah. We
just have to convince one of them to do it.
Okay, I can do that.
But you should be able to. All right.
AFC East, man, you going to put me on the spot on all this?
How about this? How about I'll give you the 4 teams in the division?
Okay.
And then you got to tell me which one's currently leading.
Kind of wild. They all lost this week.
I know. All right. You got the Jets, the Pats, the Bills, and the Dolphins. Who's leading that one?
I'm going to go with the Bills.
Incorrect.
Dolphins.
Yes. The Bills are 5-4. Dolphins are 6-3. The Jets are 4-4, only 2 games back in the leading division. New England's starting to slowly trickle away. They've lost their last 2. They're 2-7 in that division. They got a minus 93-point differential in that one. All right. We've got the AFC North, arguably one of the strongest divisions in the NFL right now. You've got the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Who's leading that division?
God, believe it or not, I'm going to go with the Bengals. Dang. Steelers?
No.
Who is it?
The Ravens.
Oh.
Lamar. But this division is wild. Again, like I said, probably one of the best divisions out there right now statistically. Ravens are 7-2, quietly 7-2.
Yeah.
If you look at Lamar on fantasy, it's crazy that the correlation of points that he's scoring to them winning games, and that's a testament to how well-rounded they are. And he's just not running as much because he doesn't have to. The Steelers are 5-3, the Browns 5-3, and the Bengals all 5-3. If I was in that division, though, I'd be worried about the Bengals right now. That is for sure. They are catching fire. There is no doubt about that. The first 4 games, they were 1-3. They were scoring 12.3 points per game, 236 yards per game. And everybody's like, oh, the Bengals, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Well, Joe Burrow gets healthy. Last 4 games, they're 4-0, scoring 26.5 points per game and averaging 347.8. And they did that to my Niners as well. Mm-hmm. So I'd be worried about the Bengals, that is for sure, in that division. All right, the AFC South.
Yep.
Got the Jags, the Texans, the Titans, and the Colts. You should know this one.
Jags, the Texans, the Titans.
This team is currently 4th in the Bleacher Report power rankings.
I mean, I think you're going and seeing them this weekend, the Jags.
That is correct. Going to be a tough game. 6-2 on the season so far. Texans are 4-4, led by rookie sensation C.J. Stroud. The Colts are 4-5, and the Tennessee Titans are 3-8, currently last in that division. Jacksonville off to a good start halfway through the season. A lot of people predicted Jacksonville to win that division, so it's kind of coming hand in hand. Last division on the AFC side, got the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Raiders. Who's winning that one? Or leading that one?
Definitely not the Raiders, that's for sure.
No, but they're not in last either.
Let's go Chargers.
No. If you listened earlier on the show when I talked about the Jets and Chargers game last night, I said the Jets and the Chargers are both now 4-4.
Yeah. What are my other pick?
The Broncos, the Raiders, or the Chiefs?
Oh, the Chiefs. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It didn't seem so easy the first time, did it?
No.
But yes, Chiefs are 7-2, second best record there in the AFC, or tied for best record in the AFC with those Baltimore Ravens. The Los Angeles Chargers got to 500 last night over that big victory over the Jets. Jets. Raiders are 4-5. Broncos are 3-5. A lot of bye weeks coming up for a lot of these teams this week. All right, over to the NFC side, Jay. Let's start with your former division, the NFC South. You should know this one. We talked a lot about it yesterday. You've got the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, and the Bucks. Who's leading that division?
Hey, I'm going New Orleans Saints.
Correct.
Yeah.
They are 5-4. They got a 1-game lead in that division right now over your former Atlanta Falcons, 4-5. What's crazy is the Falcons are only a game back, and they still have to play the Saints twice the rest of this season, and everybody is so upset with the Falcons. But I get that, too, because if they probably were doing things a little differently, they might be leading that division a little bit, actually leading that division. All right, NFC North. This team had a bye week this past week. They played Monday Night Football the week before. That division, you've got the Bears, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers. Who's leading that division?
Let's go Minnesota.
No.
Let's go the Lions.
Correct. 6-2 in the NFC North. Minnesota's 5-4 after that huge victory over the Falcons, led by Josh Dobbs, not knowing anybody's name, never throwing a pass, never taking a snap under center with the center, or never taking a snap from the center, I meant to say. And they look pretty good going into that. That's for sure. But like you said, backyard football. Sometimes just let them have the ball, make some plays. Get open, run routes, get open. And it worked.
Couldn't even spell football yesterday with those guys, but they ended up, or 2 days ago, they ended up winning against the Falcons.
Pretty impressive.
Amazing.
I think that's why the Falcons fans were so upset.
Yeah.
Because you lost to you knocked out the backup starting quarterback, and then a guy that got traded to the team on Tuesday comes in on Sunday and then leads this team continuously down the field to score a touchdown with just a couple minutes left.
And on the road.
In the old Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Which, I mean, there were quite a few Minnesota Vikings.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, anytime you're there, there's always a 50-50 there.
Well, that's the thing with NFL is,
travel.
They travel. The teams, fans are all over the country.
Yeah.
And so they travel to these hubs. But then some of these original teams, obviously the Cowboys, the Niners, the Steelers, even the Bengals and the Patriots as well. Their fan bases travel so well because, they were the teams kind of in the heyday when everybody was growing up. And, now that's all the people going to these games.
Yeah. But, I mean, your smaller markets like Jacksonville, Cincinnati, I don't see them as transient towns as much as like Miami, Atlanta, all those towns, right? Or I guess they can all be transient, but anyways,
it just depends on that fan base. That's for sure. It's definitely the most popular one. That is for sure. We got 2 more divisions to go. We'll hit the NFC East. Come on, you know this one. You got
Eagles.
Ooh. Yeah. Didn't even have to tell you the teams.
Quickly, boy.
All right, who's in second in that division? Mr. Cocky.
Now you're about to humble me.
No, come on, you know this.
NFC East. I don't.
You do.
They played this last weekend.
My team smoked them. That's our last victory was against them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eagles are 8-1, best record in all of football, currently leading the NFC. Cowboys are 5-3, Commanders are 4-5, and the lowly New York Football Giants, now without Daniel Jones. Don't know if that really matters as much. Is Tyrod Taylor injured too?
I don't know if he's injured. I just know that Tommy DeVito is playing quarterback for him. So
the rookie.
Caleb Williams to the Giants? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
That sounded a little bit like Scooby-Doo there for a second. Hey there, Shaggy. Did we do that on Monday? Or was that last week? Yesterday was Monday. It was definitely last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
Sorry, I'm becoming you with the sleeps. All right, NFC West. Who's leading this one? They have the same record, but there is a tiebreaker in that.
Got to go with your 49ers.
That is currently the case.
And you said there's a tie?
Yes. Well, both teams have the same record in that division, but the Niners win the tiebreak over this team based on best win percentage in division games.
Don't have a clue.
Hey, do you know the other 3 teams in the NFC West? One is the Cardinals.
Okay, that's an
no.
X.
They're the worst team in the league. The Rams.
Okay,
it's not them.
Nope.
Pacific Northwest.
Seattle.
There you go. The Seahawks are also 5-3 after that tough loss to the Ravens. Dominant performance by the Ravens in that one. They are 5-3 as well. So your NFC standings right now, Eagles are number 1. If the playoffs started right now, Jay Henley, Eagles would be the number 1 seed at 8-1. The Detroit Lions would be the number 2 seed at 6-2. Niners number 3 seed at 5-3. Saints, because they're leading the division, would be the number 4 seed at 5-4. Seattle Seahawks would take that 5th seed. They would win the tiebreak over Dallas based on win percentage in conference games. Dallas Cowboys would be the 6th seed at 5-3. And after Josh Dobbs led the Minnesota Vikings to beating the Atlanta Falcons this past weekend, they would be the number 7 spot with a 5-4 record. So the Niners, if the playoffs started today, the Niners would be playing the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round.
Can't wait for it.
Which would be terrifying. because I need to see more out of it. And I think the Niners are going to have a fine second half of the season. It's just everybody's all up in arms because they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, it happens, though.
It does.
Yeah.
But we're healthy, hopefully, and we're going to find out on Sunday against a really good Jacksonville Jaguars team.
We need your voice here Monday, so don't yell too hard Sunday.
No promises.
Yeah, don't make no promises. Go there and do your thing, boss.
Liam always gets me to try to start chants. I was like, you start the chant. He probably will this time.
What would be a good Niners chant?
Just any of the stereotypical ones.
I got you.
The volleyball, they do this volleyball one.
Let's go Big Red. Does that ever?
No.
Let's go Big Red.
No one ever says that. No one's ever called the Niners Big Red either.
Start it.
No.
Start a trend.
No. Somebody else is already Big Red. Cincinnati
Cardinals.
The gum. Big Red freshness lasts right through it.
Oh yeah.
Your fresh breath goes on and on.
Is that where Big Red's manufactured in Cincinnati?
I highly doubt it, but it could be. If it is, it's a coincidence.
It would be. Yeah.
The search bar on that computer under his profile has got to be just phenomenal. Where is Big Red manufactured?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
See, wait, are you talking about the gum or the drink?
What's Big Red?
Isn't there a gum? No. What's the...
I'm just thinking of the gum.
Okay.
What's the drink? Big Red drink?
There is a Big Red drink, right? Yeah.
I
heard that one. Yeah, there is a Big Red drink. Yeah.
So we'll see, I'm learning something today, too.
Yeah.
Big Red freshness. Lasts right through it.
That Big Red, though, man, it gets your mouth. I mean, after a couple of, you know what I'm saying? It's good in the beginning. And then
all gum is good in the beginning. I don't care
then
how
it tears your mouth up after 10 minutes. It is. That's it.
Favorite gum? Go.
Favorite gum? The old Big League Chew back in the day.
It's not back in the day anymore. You go to Dick's Sporting Goods, and when you're checking out, they've got grape, watermelon, original, straw. There's like 17 flavors of Big League Chew now.
Yeah.
To make you feel like you're dipping?
Yeah, a little bit.
Except it's bubble gum. Maybe that's what you should do.
Big League Chew.
To break the habit.
Maybe I should.
Big League Chew. Not to oust you on the air, but...
So actually, Big Red, the gum, is manufactured by Wrigley, which is in Chicago, Illinois. My favorite gum probably would be Winter Fresh or Juicy Fruit. It just depends on
Let's take off how long it lasts. I don't care if it only lasts for 2 minutes. What's your favorite gum?
I know where you're going when you gave us a hint like that.
Where am I going?
Is it striped?
No.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that zebra gum.
Red striped gum?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't thought about that in a while. Sour apple bubble yum.
Oh, bubble yum back in the day. I like the blue raspberry.
It didn't last but a couple minutes, but the flavor initially was fantastic.
What was the one that had the juice in the middle of it? It was syrupy and you chewed and...
I know what you're talking about, but
Hubba Bubba.
It's not coming to... I know what you're talking about.
It was so good.
What about just the original double bubble?
Yeah, those are good.
Your jaw would hurt.
It would. Yeah, the double bubble.
Was it Freshen Up?
Yes, there you go. Freshen Up.
Not there you go. There the computer goes.
Yeah. Freshen Up. That was cool.
So what's your gum? You got to pick one.
I'm gonna go. Juicy Fruit is a fantastic.
It's a classic.
One. That is a
classic, no doubt.
Yeah.
If I could only choose one, though, I'm going with Winter Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
functionality?
You?
Yeah. I already said my favorite gum was the sour apple bubble gum.
Oh yeah.
Although it's crazy. We're talking about gum, but we haven't went on one of these in a while. Is you wouldn't think that they could keep bringing new gum to the market because it's gum and gum's been around for a long time, but yet they keep showing up. And now to buy a pack of like these cubes or whatever, it's like $4.99
I know.
for some gum that you're gonna spit out.
It's crazy.
Or swallow.
Yeah, you gonna gut it.
But the marketing aspect of it is like, oh, I can put this in my cup holder and it can stay there. I mean,
and then you park in the parking lot and it's 1,000 degrees, and then you get in your car and you get one. And nothing's worse than chewing the gum and it just disintegrates in your mouth. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah,
but I mean,
that's it. We need to make a bubble gum that can handle the heat of sitting in a car.
Florida gum.
Florida man gum.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
If you build it, they'll come, I promise.
Or they'll buy it and chew it.
They will.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Nobody take that. We're copywriting it as soon as we're done with the show.
Yeah. Many things.
Many things.
We have choices. There's so many choices now.
Options, yeah. Absolutely.
Did you guys ever have Chewels?
No.
CHEWELS. That's from Pete Hamilton.
Ooh.
He sent a picture of it.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. what was it? What was the gum that was always rock hard? It was pink, and it was the strip.
I know what you're talking about.
Is it from the baseball card packs? Probably is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's rock hard.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was somebody, you could just take it and smash it like it was ice.
Right.
Gum tangent.
Speaking of Halloween candy, is it still exist in your house right now, or is it all gone?
No, it's not all gone, and it better not be all gone. But see, now we have all these cabinets, so the kids don't know where it is. They search through it and find it. And then my mom gave us a bag of candy because they didn't use it for trick-or-treat. A lot of people said the trick-or-treating was a little lighter this year.
Seems like it gets lighter every year.
Same. Somebody said it was because it was
aging out.
No, well, somebody said it was a Tuesday night. I'm like, well, last year it was a Monday night, so I mean,
That's fair.
Yeah.
So you're not going to trick-or-treat because of the night?
It'd be on a weekday.
Well, and I also think that a lot of
because they're staying out late and partying.
Well, there just wasn't a lot of kids where I went this time last year, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but it just seemed
anywhere going trick-or-treating.
It just seemed lighter this year. It just seemed very light.
Well, I think one of the things is they over the weekend, they have those trunk or treats. You mentioned that as well. So I think that like parents would rather take their kids to an environment where they, you know what I mean? Like
more
there's
controlled.
other kids.
Yeah,
exactly. And it makes a ton of sense.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we got another break coming up. Jay Henley, you did good on the divisional NFL rankings there.
That's funny though. Travis just texted it. He said that's what we did with my daughter, trunk or treat.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, parents are busy. Yeah. You don't want to go ride around or go somewhere and walk around. Just go.
But if you do know those neighborhoods with the big candy bars, you got to do the trunk or treat and then go ahead and get the gold.
Yes.
The gold.
Ooh, Willy Wonka bar. Mm-hmm. The gold wrapper. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The sounds of is everywhere, and the cooler weather is back a little now and then. So that means it's time for a trip to That Boot Store to outfit the whole family in their favorite Western wear for that colder weather on the way. And if you need quality work clothes, check out the large selection of Carhartt work clothes, boots, and shoes available at That Boot Store, open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30, next to Billboard Kia, 15th Street in Panama City. Remember, God is good all the time.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
Kitchen Designs Group is excited to announce their new location, 7934 Front Beach Road, Panama City Beach. They offer full-service kitchen and bathroom cabinetry, countertops, and flooring. Plus, they also offer cash and carry. Take your cabinets home today. Let Claudia and Marshall help make your dreams of a new kitchen or bathroom come true. Call Kitchen Designs Group, 850-775-4150 to schedule your free consultation or visit their website, kitchendesignsgroup.com. Cash and carry only applies to the Shaker White.
Now open Saturdays, 9 to 2.
The locals love it.
You're gonna love this.
You are my favorite.
It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. For those that are excited about the Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine Outdoor Fall Football Finale, the next opportunity is going to be tomorrow, the 8th, followed by the 9th, and then the last opportunity will be on the 13th. That, again, we are taking callers, the 5th caller at 12:40 on those respective dates. We'll have a chance to answer a trivia question about what type of animal, Jay?
Alligator.
An alligator. You get that trivia question right, you will be one of 5 finalists, and the winner will be announced live from Bill Kramer GM on the 16th, which is a week from Thursday. The winner will get 2 tickets to the FSU Florida game on November 25th over there in Gainesville. Don't know what time it's going to be yet, but I'm sure they'll announce it sometime soon.
I'm going to go stick my head in some of those new cars over at Bill Kramer and smell that new car smell. That's what I'm going to do.
What is with the new car smell? What
I don't know.
causes the new car smell?
I don't know, but the Glades, the ones that act like it, they smell like it. But yeah, it just has like a clean, just I don't know. Everything is right in the world.
Is the mic got a new mic smell?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay. All right. Let's. The finalists for all the various MLB awards have officially come out. We'll start on we'll start with the rookies. Okay, Jay.
Okay.
You ready? The American League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year award is down to 3 players. Tanner Bibee, or could be Bibby. I don't know. We're going to go with Bibee. He's with the Cleveland Guardians. Tristan Casas with the Boston Red Sox, or Gunnar Henderson with the Baltimore Orioles. On the National League side, for the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year, you got Corbin Carroll with the Diamondbacks, James Outman with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Kodai Senga with the New York Mets. Did you see the New York Mets just announced that they're going to spend $8 billion on a stadium renovation?
They're trying to keep up with the Yankees.
But they both missed the then didn't they just spend a ton of money on players too?
Yeah.
Like, $8 billion.
That's crazy.
Who'd you say that is?
The Mets.
Oh, good for them. Good for them.
But didn't they just... No.
They were at Shea Stadium back in the day.
Yeah, and then didn't they build a new one like Citi Field or something like that?
Where they're at now.
And then I saw it on Bleacher. It was a notification. That's what
happens when you got Steve Cohen as your owner.
He's like, let's spend $8 billion.
Hey, man, 5th place looks good in a new stadium, son.
Yeah, 5th place looks a lot better in a new stadium than it does in an old stadium.
They may be trying to figure out, like the Braves end up getting World Series champions, going to a new stadium, new part of town. Maybe they're onto something.
Little Nunes trying to win another championship.
Yep.
There you go. National League Manager of the Year, Craig Counsell with the Brewers. Didn't he just the whole Brewers thing is up in arms
wild.
right now. Where did he go?
Cubs.
And for $40 million?
Yeah, over 3 years, I believe.
Then the owner's pissed. The players are pissed. Everybody's pissed, but he's not. That would be ironic if he wins.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, and it's kind of crazy because, like you just mentioned, he's up for Manager of the Year. The Cubs had David Ross, but you would like to think that the Brewers are kind of set up better, but man, you bring in Craig Counsell, you're spending money on him. So now if you spend that kind of money on your manager, you have to start. There's no way he took that job without him getting the guarantee, like, all right, we're going to buy some players, right? Because we've got Dansby there. The pitching staff is young, but we can, work on that. Bellinger's already opted out, so we'll see where he ends up going. But I'm curious as to what he was thinking, especially going to a division rival like that, because, you're going to be hated and everything, so you're not leaving off on necessarily a good foot at all, and now you're intensifying that rivalry as well.
Absolutely.
But cool thing, him making $40 million over 3 years in his entire career as a player. Again, money was different. He made $12 million.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, not bad. And the owner came out and said, we lost Craig to Chicago. He's reflected on this. He said, Craig has lost us and lost our community. So like David was just saying, that rivalry is going to be a little more intense during that first series.
Yeah, he's got in
Milwaukee.
A little league park over there that's named after him, and it's been vandalized.
He didn't have to move the family moving from Milwaukee to Chicago. Isn't that right down the road? I mean, it's like 50 miles.
I don't know how close.
Yeah, it's close.
I'm sure, because Chicago up to Wisconsin.
Milwaukee,
Just Milwaukee on the lake as well. Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah. Look at you and your geography.
Hey, just makes sense though. I mean, you don't have to move the family and all that.
I'm guessing he's going to move.
Over the weekend, moving is no.
Well, when you have $40 million, you can have some people do it for you.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
I don't know. But yes, so the National League Manager of the Year, Craig Counsell, formerly with the Brewers, Skip Schumacher with the Miami Marlins, and then Brian Snitker with the Atlanta Braves. Who do you think gets it, Jay?
Oh, I heard Snitker. Go back 2 more.
Counsell, obviously, who we've just been talking about with the Brewers, and then Skip Schumacher with the Marlins.
I got to go with the hometown Snitker. Yeah, I mean,
do it.
He's at least getting us to the dance.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, this is a regular season award.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Snit's got to get it with all the records and all that.
And it makes you wonder, like, how do you get this? Like, how do you become a part of this ballot? Are you, is it the fans that are voting for this, and what goes into
Baseball
it?
Writers Association of America.
Yeah, which is why a lot of baseball fans are like, because it gets a little political sometimes. My thought on it is, I think Council wins because he had way less than what Brian Snitker had to deal with there, and this has been a commonality now for the Braves. And normally when you have 2 or 3 years in a row, it's like, okay, like, we're not going to give it to Brian Snitker every year just because you're winning a lot of games in the regular season. But in all reality, the Marlins had no expectations of making the playoffs, so I think it should be the Marlins manager.
There you go.
Well, and I think it should go to, like, who's the most innovative coach in the year? Who did something that was maybe heroic, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's this playbook that everybody seems to kind of follow. Who's been the most chance-taking individual coach, in my opinion?
There you go.
But I don't know if that's brought into the mix or not. But
you should join the Baseball Writers of America.
Yeah,
do it.
Hey,
give him a fresh perspective on everything.
Like, I think of Mike McDaniel. I think he's an innovator.
Yeah,
in my
except
opinion.
they can't beat teams that have winning records.
Well, that's true.
Other than that,
he needs to get to innovating a game plan for that.
Yeah, that's hard. Those warm teams come playoff time, it certainly gets tough. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
American League, or sorry, did I do the national?
I don't think so.
No, I skipped the American League somehow. But Texas Rangers, Bruce Bochy. Yes, Bochy. Kevin Cash with the Tampa Bay Rays, or Brandon Hyde with the Baltimore Orioles. I think it's got to go to Brandon, right?
It's got to go to Bochy. He won the World Series.
But it's a regular season award.
It's still got to go to Bochy.
Yeah.
Who did you say you think it should go to?
The Orioles.
Oh,
just because of what, like you were talking about with the Marlins. Nobody thought they were going to make the
with
playoffs.
the Rangers.
Yeah.
Could see that.
If the Orioles manager wins, I would not be mad.
It would make sense. Any of those guys, for sure. The American League Cy Young finalists: Garrett Cole with the New York Yankees, Kevin Gausman with the Toronto Blue Jays, and Sonny Gray with the Minnesota Twins. Over there on the National League Cy Young side, Zach Gallen with the Diamondbacks, Blake Snell with the Padres, or Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants. American League MVP, I think these might already be set in stone, so to speak, but Shohei Ohtani with the Angels, Corey Seager with the Texas Rangers, or Marcus Simeon. That's okay. That's what I thought. I just didn't want to pronounce it wrong. And he was also with the Texas Rangers. 2 there from the Texas Rangers. On the National League side, you had Ronald Acuna Jr. with the Braves, Mookie Betts with the Dodgers, and Freddie Freeman with the Dodgers. Do you feel like what's-his-face got snubbed there?
Who?
First baseman?
Matt Olson.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
They put 2 Dodgers on there and not 2 Braves.
I feel like they should have just added a 4th finalist, but at the end of the day, Ohtani and Acuna
are going to win it, so does it really matter?
And Cy Young's pretty much wrapped up too. It's going to be Garrett Cole. How often, all right, you guys, how often did you hear about Garrett Cole this year?
A lot.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I know the name because of just hearing about it and stuff like that.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is for him to have the season that he had, and the Yankees didn't have a great season. I mean, it was phenomenal to the point that, in my opinion, it went under the radar. So I think Garrett Cole...
Because he was on,
Yeah, I mean, well, not just because of that, but it's like he was pitching lights out essentially, and you're not hearing about it week in and week out. But if the Yankees were playing good baseball, vying for the AL East, then I think that would have been a totally different story. And on the NL side of things, I think Blake Snell has that wrapped up as well.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think, Jay Henley?
I just don't have no dog in this fight, this hunt.
You kind of do.
What? No, I don't.
Because you're a Braves fan.
Yeah,
Snitker.
Oh,
Acuna.
Yeah, Snitker, Acuna. I'll go Acuna, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There you go. I was just getting a message talking about from Don Walton, who's a big New England sports fan. He said, UConn women back where they belong at number 1. If Paige Beckers can finally play a full year, they will be back to the best this year. There you go. Hard to believe NCAA basketball is already underway. Is it seem earlier than usual, or is it just...
Well, we don't start paying attention to it till conference play.
Yeah.
But this is, because then right now we don't even really have the big games, but come sometime this month you're going to have those tournaments and whatnot, and so you'll pay a little attention to it then. But then once it gets into conference play, like really the turn of the new year, you're kind of watching once college football is done. So right after that, then college basketball is
ramped up. Yeah, Auburn does play Baylor tonight on ESPN at 8:00. Baylor is ranked number 20 in the country. Auburn's actually a 1.5-point favorite on the road there against. I think that's at a tournament because it's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
The Bears and the Tigers.
The Bears and the Tigers and the Lions. Oh, my. Remind everybody about your parent-child championship one more time, Jay, because we only got about 2 minutes and not a lot of time for one more topic.
Next Saturday, November 18th.
That's nuts. It's next Saturday. Not this Saturday.
Next Saturday. Yep. If you have a child between the ages of 7 and 13, get signed up. It's a parent-child 9-hole tournament out at Bay Point. $100 per team. Scramble. And
low pressure.
We're going to have a lot of fun, and
and maybe you're going to find a trophy too.
You never know. I hope.
Yeah, trophy for each division.
Yes.
And do they get to keep the trophy, or?
Yep, they get to keep the trophy for a year, bring it back the next year, and I'd like to try to have the trophies maybe small to large.
There you go.
So they can graduate to larger trophies.
Yeah.
So,
kind of like the divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Annual thing.
Annual. I would that would be great to do it the Saturday before Thanksgiving. I think that would be, maybe we call it the Early Bird Open next year. Or
so much puns in that, Jay.
The Early Bird Open.
I like that.
Yeah.
Baked, fried, what else?
Baked, fried, grilled.
Do people grill turkeys?
I don't know. Look, hey, I've done enough turkeys in my past.
That's what I want to know. What's your playbook on the turkey?
Here's my thing with the turkey. Don't go 14-pound turkey because it is so hard to get the center of that turkey cooked. Go with a 6 or 8 pounder. That's my advice for the month of November.
So if you're feeding a gajillion people, you just roll it with 2 fryers and 2 8-pounds?
That's I've never had any luck with a 12 to 14 pound turkey.
That's a big old
That's
turkey.
A big turkey.
You got to get up earlier, man.
Yeah,
Started the night before, son.
Yeah.
But
I like that advice, though.
You frying?
Yeah.
With oil?
Yeah.
Because they got those oilless fryers now for people like me that don't want to burn anything down.
It's that time of year to look at all the frozen turkeys being put in the fryers. And
not good.
That is not good.
Water and oil do not equal a good thing, especially when you have flames around.
Yeah. They're both good in this world, but they're not good together.
Yes. Both very.
Man, that's so deep right there.
There's another one. 2 in that last 2 minutes.
Jay's in a submarine right now, son.
You peaked. We gotta go. We gotta be done. We gotta end on that high note. You've been listening to the Inside Drive. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll have Keith Fleming joining us. He's back healthy, all the DFS expert picks, and talking a little bit more about all the fun stuff going on in the sports and whatever we want to talk about. We appreciate you listening. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more